Participants at the United Nations COP28 climate talks have been greeted by protests, which are a rare sight in the United Arab Emirates. Activists allowed into the UAE were permitted to demonstrate yesterday on issues like the Israel-Hamas war and climate change, but under very strict guidelines. For organizations long banned by the country, it was an opportunity to demonstrate for the first time in about a decade. Joining us now from Dubai to give us some insight on COP28 is Fred Roeder, Managing Director of the Consumer Choice Center. Fred, thank you very much for sitting down with us.
Hello, David.
So you've attended the event. What are some of the big issues that have been discussed so far?
There are probably three major themes at this year's COP. One is how to get energy production to a sustainable but also globally affordable way. Another one is the food wars. Are cows evil? Should we stop eating meat? Or are they actually a way to solve malnutrition across the world? Mm-hmm. And the third one, especially in an aviation hub such as Dubai, a big topic is what is the future of aviation? What alternatives to kerosene are there, such as sustainable aviation fuels?
So with those major themes, we know that one of the organizers of the event has said the focus needs to be on practical solutions to climate problems. As an attendee yourself, do you think that there has been that shift in focus to practical solutions to these big problems?
It definitely feels much more like a collaborative and pragmatic COP compared to the previous years. One could just see that 22 countries, among them Canada, signed a pledge to triple global nuclear power output by 2050, which is a very different narrative than in the past, where it was predominantly about solar cells and windmills. And now it's actually about, okay, how can we really create electricity and energy for billions of people and make it affordable? And this nuclear pledge from these 22 countries, and hopefully more will join, is very good news and a very different narrative, much more pragmatic, much more forward-looking, how to really tackle big problems and issues we have in the world.
Have there been any other big positive takeaways from COP28 so far?
It seems that technology neutrality and much more pragmatic approaches in general are becoming, again, the mainstream, while the climate debate in the previous 10 to 15 years was very ideological, usually rich activists from rich countries and rich nations such as Germany setting the agenda and saying we need to use less energy, we need to eat less, we need to spend more money on energy but get less out of it. Now it seems this global cost of living crisis and also more empowered emerging markets have taken the lead to really look at affordable solutions to climate change. And that's good news for consumers across the world.
And I mean, that certainly seems like a very positive shift in a pragmatic way. But in your view, what have been some of the negatives from the week at COP28?
I mean, concerning is this constant meat bashing. You know, the same people who always point out that we still have poverty and hunger in the world want to ban the cows. Somehow they are the scapegoat for the salon vegans. And that is something that needs to be countered. We need to explain that animal protein is an extremely important source of nutrition. And it's not feasible to stop cattle farming. And it's also not desirable. And these are some debates we still need to have and lead, and then hopefully sanity and pragmatism settles in, such as in the debate around nuclear power. I'm German, and my home country just stopped all nuclear power plants and started demolishing them, while 22 leading nations agree to triple global nuclear power output. And it just seems that some countries and societies have missed a bit the train to realize that we need to make any measures that tackle climate change also affordable, and the people need to support it. Otherwise, you start getting very challenging election results, and something you can see with radical populist parties getting support in so-called climate leaders such as Germany or the Netherlands.
And some have been critical that the UAE was hosting, given that they're a significant producer of oil. What's been the impression on the ground locally about COP28 being in Dubai?
I mean, people are very excited about having COP here. About 2.5 years ago, the first reactor of the UAE's first nuclear power plant went online. Now 3 reactors are online, producing already 20% of the country's electricity needs. And people are proud about this diversification as well, right? So it's not just oil and gas, but it's also some forward looking towards, okay, how can we diversify energy sources and make ourselves less dependent from shocks coming from one technology or source of energy?
Thank you very much for your time today, Fred. Very much appreciated.
Thank you.